Lucky Lefty podcast. The Onora boys are in the building. My name is Shaun Davis, that dude, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire. We are brought to you and featuring Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure that you do so
responsibly.
You definitely have to do it responsibly. Got a lot to get to because Left missed out on yesterday's conversation. So we have to give him an opportunity. He's going to talk about his Heisman odds. He's going to talk about Sam Hartman. Will he be a top 5 quarterback in college football? And then Malik's going to give his top 5 quarterbacks in college football and his top 5 offenses in college football. That should be pretty interesting. Then we're going to jump from that into how the Notre Dame offense is going to develop, assuming that Sam Hartman is the starting quarterback. With the running backs and the offensive line that they have, how many passes should Sam Hartman throw per game? How many passes should Sam Hartman throw per game? The Lucky Lefty podcast question of the day. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We start off with breaking news, though. Georgia has turned into come win a title and then go get your bag. Come win a title and go get your bag. For the second straight year, a productive wide receiver in the playoffs jumps in the portal. A.D. Mitchell, a wide receiver from Georgia, who scored touchdowns in all 4 college football playoff matchups for Georgia. Big time player, clutch player, wins his 2 titles, and jumps in the portal to go get his numbers and build up that bag opportunity for the NFL. Breaking news about 40 minutes ago. Oklahoma State quarterback transfer, Spencer Sanders, lands with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. What the heck happens with Jackson Dart? They just got Walker Howard, who transferred from LSU, to commit to Ole Miss. That Ole Miss quarterback room is crazy, but there's no left. It's insane. We're going to talk about that to start, but don't forget Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown, all of our great content. State of recruiting. I got John Garcia Jr. just dropped an incredible show, giving his top 5 transfers in
Top
college
5?
football. Top 5 transfers in college football.
Hold on, I gotta get this. I'm still here.
And Notre Dame has someone on the list. I'll go ahead and tease that for our brother John Garcia Jr. Along with our content, it's over at CFB Nation, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Once again, it's the Lucky Lefty podcast. You already know we spin it different. Left, what do you think about Spencer Sanders ending up at Ole Miss?
I think what you're seeing now is the trend of quarterbacks chasing the good coaching programs and the good coaches in college football that's getting guys to the league, getting guys win Heismans, and having chances to be seen at the next level. And we've seen guys be fortunate when they may not have chosen the number 1 school like Alabama, Ohio State, or Georgia, or Notre Dame, but they're going to a place that has a great coach. And that great coach is usually turning those guys out into the league, a draft pick, or ready to win a championship. So Spencer Sanders with a 5th year, he's like, where can I go to prepare for the league? Where can I go to play in a great conference against competition to get me ready for the NFL, or the closest thing to it? Where can I go to be on the center stage? I know Lane Kiffin gonna have Ole Miss right, and then where can I go to really improve my skill amongst the competition in the SEC? Is a great place for that, and a lot of it is the Lane Kiffin factor of he's gonna get him ready. He's seen what he did with Matt Corral and at Ole Miss, and he's seen just the history of what Lane Kiffin has mean to college football. So he's like, I'm getting in line with that, and I don't blame him.
Bro, I don't know, man. I think Lane is like, man, I'm just gonna get. Hopefully, one of these quarterbacks can be the quarterback that can help me beat Alabama, help me beat
Yeah,
LSU. At this point, he's just grasping for straws, man. Hoping one of the three can do it for him. I mean,
really.
so you know,
Well, Walker will be a project. He'll be good in the next 2 years. Spencer Sanders only got a year. And then Jackson Dart, I mean, you better
hit the portal again.
win your job.
I mean, no, wait a minute. Spencer Sanders is almost like Hartman. Like you can lip service competition all you want to, but Spencer Sanders isn't going to Ole Miss without some type of guarantee.
Spencer Sanders is getting a guarantee of having a coach that's going to get him to the league if he
That's
plays
facts.
under him.
That's facts.
I think that's the best possibility that Spencer Sanders probably thought about, especially because a lot of these schools have been taken up. I mean, he's been in the portal for a minute. And I don't know how many visits he's been on, but some of them, I mean, Nebraska's gone, Wisconsin's gone. A lot of these schools have been taken after the signing day and these young quarterbacks committing. So I think Spencer Sanders was probably hoping for a Georgia call, maybe, because Stetson Bennett was leaving. But at the end of the day, I think he made the best decision considering his place in college football and where he can go. I think him being at a program that's in the middle of the road, like Oklahoma State, I think he's been there, done that. And I think that if he was going to be again on a middle of the road team, at least be with a coach that he knows that if he got the right combination where he can really be something special. So when you in this transfer portal is really a business decision, especially if you have 1 year. And I think that process mentally changes on what
Mhm.
you're looking forward to and what you're looking for uh, after you've been in the experience. If you've never been in the experience, you don't know what you're basing some of these decisions off of. But being 4 or 5 years in already, you like, I specifically know what I'm looking for, and I'm going for it regardless of circumstance. And I think he found it in Lane Kiffin.
You think this move is more about? Interestingly, you talked about middle of the road teams. It came down reportedly, according to Chris Lowe from ESPN, it was between Ole Miss and Auburn, who has a new head coach. Do you think this move is more about Jackson Dart or more about Spencer Sanders?
For Lane Kiffin,
Yeah.
um, I think the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, those cookies are kind of overrated. We got them here in Chicago. They kind of overrated. Like sometimes you do too much on top of a cookie, bro. Sometimes you can do
Come
way
on,
too
Shaun.
much. We can talk about it.
Come
We can
on, Shaun.
debate that. Another
Come on,
question of the
Shaun.
day. Let us know in the chat. Can you do too much
You
on top
really
of
ruined.
cookies?
You really ruined the crumble cookie like that.
Bro, I'm just telling you. They have some that are okay, and then they
Wow.
have some that are just way too much. I prefer insomnia cookies myself over
Okay.
crumble.
Okay. That's a good little trade off.
So,
But
but
still, Shaun, I mean, good grief.
not my fault. I wasn't trying to diss crumble. It's not like they're canes that put
You,
zero
you must
seasoning on their chicken fingers.
have. Here we go. Because Chick-fil-A does, huh?
Dog, canes is awful. I digress,
It's the
though.
sauce, man.
Man, dude, the votes are coming in, bro.
The
Okay,
votes are coming in.
the
The
votes are
votes, you thought
coming
the
in.
votes are coming
The
in.
votes are coming in, bro. The votes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. The votes are coming in.
See, you gave him a comparative story. You didn't talk straight about the cookie being good or not. You
No, no,
gave him
no.
something to compare it
Look,
to.
man, I just had an experience with crumble, and my mom. She went downtown and got some from downtown Chicago. Came, brought them back. I'm simple. Oatmeal, raisin, chocolate chip. I don't need all that. When you start putting Fruit Loops on top of cookies and all that, it's just doing
See,
too
that's how they
much.
do the donuts. They ruined it for me.
Stan's, right? Stan's Donuts does something similar to that. So look, I'm cool, man. As long as you can make a fantastic glazed donut, you got me. You got
Just,
me.
I like the twist. If you can make a classic twist, we in business.
Another food segment brought to you by the Lefty podcast. We spin it different. But back to Jackson Dart, Spencer Sanders, and Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
You feel like it's more about Jackson Dart not getting it done for Lane and what Lane sees in him?
I definitely think for a guy like Lane and being a maniacal OC coach that he is, he's looking for, like you said, options, and he's going into the season not dying on one or the other. So if Jackson, a hot or cold dart, is going to be hot or cold, he definitely can feel as though he has guys in the saddle that won't miss a beat in threat of him being an average middle of the road team. I think he's battling being mediocre and finding that quarterback, which you need to be able to compete with a Georgia and Alabama in that conference.
No, dude, this is funny. Gino said the Girl Scouts are modern day drug pushers. Dude, Girl Scout cookies are banging. That's a
They are
fact.
banging,
They are banging.
but they hustle their butt off though,
They
man.
do. They do. But once again, just give me some shortbreads, bro.
Really,
Just give me some shortbreads and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Dude, I'm not hard to please, bro. My wife will tell you, I'm not hard to please.
the lemon ones are my favorite.
Oh, the lemon ones are, man, fantastic, right? Um, the stripes,
Mm.
my wife loves those. A lot of people I know love the peppermint joints.
Yeah, they go crazy for the peppermint joints. They
Yeah,
they good and everything, but
yeah, they love the peppermint joints. And then I think the other one they like is like the coconut.
Samoas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they always get you. And I have like 3 or 4 kids that get me every time. It's either the Girl Scout cookies or beginning of the year they come with the fundraiser. You know what I mean? That sheet of candies, right? They got the turtles, the Reese cups, the popcorn.
And I-
Yeah.
and I think it's a microcosm of what we really talking about when it comes to Lane Kiffin. He just loves his Girl Scout cookies.
Woo.
He
Okay.
thought he had the shortbread with Jackson Dart. He said, "I got the classic, all American, can't go wrong, 4 5 star. He's all world projected.
Hmm.
Didn't get it done. So he said, let me go get a Samoa in Spencer Sanders. So now I like both of them,
Yeah.
but they two different jobs. They get two different jobs. Maybe Samoas are good at an office work party, and then maybe the shortbreads are good at the kid's birthday party. See, so I got different flavors, but it's still Girl Scout cookies. And one thing we know about Lane Kiffin's that he loves his Girl Scout cookies if they're quarterbacks. These Girl Scout cookies are quarterbacks. He got him 3 boxes. He got him the peppermint with Walker Howard. He put them in the freezer. That's why you're not going to see him next year.
Hmm.
He put them in the freezer because they taste better when they sit there for a year. But he said, let me try that Samoas with Spencer Sanders because I've been taking the shortbread to the party or the work parties all last year. And it wasn't getting me no good reviews. They wasn't reaching for my dessert first. I got to compete with the brownies, you know, the M&M cookies, the snickerdoodles. I need some pizzazz because the shortbreads ain't stacking up because they start getting freaky over there. They start doing the cookie with the brownie mix.
Hmm.
How you gonna compete with that? They hit you with the cupcakes with the cream cheese or the cream cheese filling, not the regular. The cream cheese filling. So the desserts start getting crazy. So the shortbreads aren't gonna cut it. So you say, you know what you need to do? You said I need to get me some Samoas. So now I'm going with 2.
Mm.
I'm giving you options. So maybe one of them can win the prize. And that's all. Lane Kiffin just loves his Girl Scout cookies. And the shortbreads wasn't stacking up to the combo desserts that people was throwing out at the work party. And he didn't want to take them all home. Because that's the embarrassing part. Well, you gotta clean up your little plate. Nobody touched. You out
That's
here
the
arguing
worst.
with
Well,
people.
that's the worst, right? Potluck, everybody brings something, and what you bring, no one touches,
You
especially
said
during the
I want
holidays.
to take something home. Ain't nobody want to take nothing home. You didn't bring no Tupperware. You thought people was gonna eat it all. So you not planning on taking it back.
Now you got to take it all back with you to the crib.
Now you try to leave it in the work fridge in case somebody. Hey, I'm gonna just leave it in there in case somebody want to
Right.
grab something later.
It's in the break room, just sitting there on the table. Nobody's touching it.
yeah, yeah, maybe somebody get some for their kids or something on the way out.
Oh,
A little
man.
snack or something for next week.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So last year, it was Burton that left and went to Alabama, and A.D. Mitchell now leaves Georgia.
I think that's pretty dope though.
That
To
is
go
dope to be able to
win a
win national
championship.
championships, get it out of the way, and then
Now
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
go to some middle of the road team and stack up yards.
Let me
I
ask you something. And I asked this because something's happened. There was a recruit for the University of Illinois, Brad Pachimsky, a kid out of Wisconsin, lefty, sweet shooting lefty. He couldn't get on the court for Illinois last year, and he decided to transfer from Illinois, and he's at Santa Clara now. Now this dude is being looked at for the NBA draft,
Mm.
and people are saying, this might be a trend. Instead of kids trying to go from Power Five to Power Five, go from Power Five to mid major, a situation where you can get shots, you can get opportunity to flourish, show your wares. And then if you want to transfer back into the Power Five to a good situation or go to the league, then do that. Burton went from Georgia to Alabama. Do you think it will ever be a good situation for a kid to win national championships, go to Georgia, but then go to, let's say, a French school on the outside? Let's say he goes to Duke, right, with Riley Leonard, up and coming young quarterback. Duke really doesn't have a number one receiver. Like, could you see something like that being done where a kid is like, yo, I got my championships. Now I'm trying to find me a spot when I could really go to work.
I really believe that's the smartest option, but it's really the confidence and the belief in the player himself. A lot of these players are good in systems. I think for a kid like him to be in a system where it wasn't primarily a passing offense,
Mm,
but to be productive in big moments is a huge compliment. But I don't know if he can run routes. I mean, I don't think Georgia really ran too many intricate type of routes other than go routes and some slants and some bubbles. So maybe he's like Caleb Smith, where he's like, man, I'm trying to run some options and some digs and some overs and some stuff, and really find that intricate level of offense that can get my game ready for the
yeah,
next level. Because I think he's thinking beyond just being a dominant receiver in college football. Just because he's like, I won a championship twice. If I can
hmm
just go get paid $1 million like Caleb Williams, go to Eastern Michigan. Why not? I
right.
know I get the Rock and $1 million.
Or like the Lawrence Keys route, where he ends up at Tulane.
Now I think Lawrence Keys was more like going home, but still, because I think he's from Louisiana, but
Louisiana, yeah. But still, like going to a situation like that, well, it's
and
it's
made him
enough.
better.
You're on the radar enough
Yeah,
where if you do your business and take care of business, it's a good look for you, especially going to the next level. So I'll be interested in seeing where AD Mitchell lands. Um,
Maybe he comes to Notre Dame. No, he got 1 year left, right?
No, he's just a sophomore. So he would have two
Yeah,
left.
yeah, we ain't taking him.
Yeah, man.
We're taking finished products.
All I know is when they get in the big games, hey, he scores touchdowns. That's all I know. That's all I know. Lucky Lefty podcast. I got Lilo Galante said Malik the Wolfgang Pucker podcast. Sports.
There we go. I don't think his food good though. You went to that airport. I mean, that
Bro,
one in Vegas. I don't think it's that good.
dude, I
I
totally
think the little
agree with you.
Jamaican spot down the street from my crib better than that.
Dude, I got this Jamaican spot called Exclusive Jerk that's
Mm,
in Chicago Heights. Fam, they never miss. They never miss.
never
Never.
miss. Is
Never.
it spicy or is it sweet spicy?
No, it's right on the ledge.
Okay.
So they give you a decision. They give you a decision. It's right on the ledge, bro. And then they give you the sauce and they say, okay, if you want it to go over the ledge, go ahead and jump off with this sauce.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
want to stay cool, straight, nice, moist, well seasoned, cooked perfectly. They never,
Yeah.
man, they
That's what you
always
do.
miss.
With a beef patty in there
Man, if you
somewhere.
come to Chicago, find Exclusive Jerk. It's a nice little hole in the wall, but I'm telling you, it's that business. It's that business. Um, we talked about that Jaden Rashada situation. You're out there. You've watched this kid play. You know him. Did he play himself?
I think once the number, I mean, how can he play himself? Because he didn't make up the numbers, did he?
He had 8 in the pocket, though. He had 8 in the pocket in Miami. I would have chosen Miami over Florida just on
But
GP.
they must have told him 13. That's why he decided not to anyway.
Dude, look,
Miami would have paid it though.
man, if I was his dad, I would have treated that like a you know what. Like, man, show me the money. Open the bag.
What's in the bag?
Right?
Go ahead, open it
Like
up.
all
Don't
this
make
talk,
no sudden movements.
open that bag. Show me the money. Is it all there? Yeah, it's all there.
So it's all there. All right.
Like,
Had to
all
do the
right.
had to do in the movie they did a taste.
Right.
It's good. Yeah,
It's
we're
good,
good.
right?
We're good.
Yeah, that's that pure. That's that pure.
But I think he definitely, got greedy in the process. But shoot, like you said, it's the Wild Wild West still. You're probably not going to see something like this after the changes in 2024. So it's still unwritten rules. So I'm sure it was a lot of lip service. I mean, a little bit. I would have been like, all right, that's too good to be true. We ain't even take
Man,
no damn snap shit. Y'all talking about 13? What? I know he nice. I know he nice. But if I saw 8 in the bag, I probably would have signed, sealed,
man.
delivered. I wouldn't have thought twice about it. And just
Bird in the
knowing the
hand is better than
circumstance,
two in the
who's
bush,
doing
right?
this? Huh?
Bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, right?
Yeah, I'm like, cause come on, like who's really doing this for real? They know this is a ridiculous concept to pay a quarterback never to play in college football on a mediocre team, by the way.
Yeah.
He ain't like he going to Georgia. Where we just know they're gonna be good. So whoever plug in there,
Mm-hmm.
like Bryce did it smart. Bryce was like, you know what? I could go to SC and get a little bag,
Right.
but then it would have to be a lot more on me, and things could go wrong.
The SC situation was bad though.
Yeah,
He
and
knew
things
that.
can go wrong.
Coaching, yeah.
Or I go to a team that's things are always going right,
Right.
and all I got to do is just do my job.
Right.
Everything else is handled. That's a way better situation to throw a lot of money at because you know the machine behind it is going to support you as insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to give Bryce $1 million after they didn't see Jalen, Tua, Mac Jones. This is just like betting at that point. It's like, okay, I'll put the odds on. I'll put $1 million on Bryce Hill win the Heisman. That's really what the NIL was.
Right.
I just got $1 million you'll win because I'm just seeing the dominoes. Max should have won it. You gonna win it. I know y'all gonna be nice, so y'all gonna be in a championship position. So I'll sign Bryce for $1 million. That's an easy business transaction. Now giving $8 million to Nico Imavalita, it's a little different. I'm
Yeah.
squeezing my pockets a little tighter
Yeah.
because Tennessee, through history so far, could be trash the next couple of years. Just because that's just how they are. They just be just trash. It just wouldn't be worth a darn. Or Nico's got to be that guy. A
Yeah.
lot more room for error.
Yeah.
So I think if you're gonna do it the way AD Mitchell is doing it. Go get you a championship, and then start requesting money in the 6-figure, 7-figure range after that as a free agent.
Notre Dame faces 3 of the top 10 Heisman contenders, according to Bet Online. They released their top 20 bets for the Heisman in 2023. Drake May is first, 5-1. Caleb Williams, second at plus 550. And then coming in at seventh is Cal McCord, Ohio State quarterback.
Woo.
Yeah, Cal McCord.
These odds are, man, he might as well throw Sam
Two,
Hartman in there.
200-1. Sam Hartman came in sixth
Yep. You might have, that's how we doing it.
at plus 1,200. Bo Nix is at plus 1,200. Michael Penix Jr., I would have him at plus 1,000, but he's at plus 1,200. Jordan Travis is at plus 1,000.
Oh, from Utah?
No, from
I'm
Florida
sorry,
State.
from FSU.
Now, I'll give you a good value bet just to take. Just throw some money at. I'll give you 2. One would be J.J. McCarthy. You getting plus 4,000. That's dude.
He's not more talented than Drake May or Caleb
No,
Williams, so
but
he's
dude,
not winning no Heisman.
Michigan is probably going to run through the Big Ten.
He's not more talented. It's the same CJ Stroud argument.
Caleb
I'm
Williams
sorry.
is not winning back to back. You already know that.
I'm saying JJ McCarthy's not more talented than than Caleb or Drake May.
I agree with that. But Drake May wasn't in New York this year.
So I think because of that, you'll see that he might be there, but he's not going to win it, even if they go undefeated.
I'm just saying, at 4,000, man, go ahead and put a little something on that. Who knows what can happen? Spencer Rattler's at plus 4,000.
In that case.
Dude, the skill position, 2 skill position players made the list. Both of those players play for Ohio State.
Ooh.
Travion Henderson and Marvin Harrison.
You need to put Penn State's running back on there before Travion Henderson.
Yeah, I would definitely put Nicholas Singleton up there. That's a good call, Left.
Or the running back or that athlete running back from Ole Miss. He's nice.
Yeah.
The freshman.
Yeah.
He's real nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But 40-1 for JJ McCarthy. Man, heck, they got Ty Simpson from Alabama at 40-1.
Well, Alabama quarterbacks is going to be placed on there today. Stop being good.
And Blake Corum, he almost, if he didn't get hurt, he might have ended up in New York anyway this year. He's at 33-1. It's very interesting, bro. Your boy Jaden Daniels is at 20-1. Joe Milton is at 20-1. Drew Aller is 25-1. Quinn Ewers is 25-1. Cade Klubnik is 25-1. And both Quarterbacks vying for the starting position at Georgia. Brock Vandegrift and Carson Beck are both right behind Cade Klubnik. One is at 28-1, and Carson Beck is at 33-1.
Brock Vandegrift, I heard of that.
Yeah,
Not
he's
bad.
at 28-1. I don't think they give it to Caleb in consecutive years. Drake May can't lose more than 2 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, Drake may gotta be in the playoffs deep.
Yeah, he has to win games. He can't go like
Because he's
nine
not
and
gonna
three,
get
eight
no
and
credit
four.
from his schedule.
Yeah, yeah. And the team should be better this year than they were last year, especially defensively. Your boy Bo Nix. Uh, Sam Hartman has a chance, bro, to get to New York.
Oh, to get to New York, yeah, if
Yeah,
Tommy,
yeah, yeah,
do what he's supposed to do.
yeah. So you didn't get a chance to talk about this. What do you think about the schedule release? Give me your record, your early record, and then give me the games that you look at and you say, we know the 3 big games, but this game right here might be just one of those weeks Notre Dame really doesn't play well, but still has to find a way to win.
So looking at the schedule right now, I see us beating Navy because I think we just have more talent, more experience,
Hmm.
and I think we've learned from last year. Tennessee State, we're just trying to, that's a GC game. We're just trying to be charitable to programs that need funding. So that's like a celebrity game. So we might have a bunch of old Notre Dame, come out. We should treat that like the Harlem Globetrotters and the Generals. It should be bring your kids, $5 tickets for the kids, make it real fan worthy
Hmm.
because I think it's more of a charitable Make a Wish Foundation game. So we should win that. NC State for the third game, we should win that. They don't have their quarterback, Devin Leary. Um, we should take care of business. Central Michigan's one of those teams where it's like, all right, we shouldn't be letting them hang around. I like their coaching staff and what they do over there. Um, but they also lost their quarterback from the transfer portal too, who I thought was pretty solid. I don't know if he got picked up anywhere, but we should handle that. But that'll be a good game. So right now we're 4-0. Ohio State, I think we have a better quarterback. So I'm saying we beat them at home. It'll be a night game. We should treat them like how we did Clemson last year at home. So that's 5-0 through September. Duke, we should win, even though they're a better team than they were last year. I think they'll come together more, but they just don't have enough talent. So that puts us at 6-0. Louisville, they got a new coach. They're gonna have their version of Charlie Jones over there from Purdue. So hopefully, in the first year program, especially at a program like Louisville, he needs probably 2 or 3 years before they really get going. So I think we smacked him upside the head one time. So that's what, that's 8-0. No, I mean sorry, that's not 8-0. That's 7-0. SC, that's the game that's going to determine, I think, a lot of where we seed in the playoffs and also award games. That's your trophy game. So if Sam Hartman's in any competition of winning the championship, I'm sorry, of winning the Heisman, this is the game to do it. We owe him one, and he's coming to the cold. Let's see how he does in the cold. So I got us. I'm still split decision on that. We go into a bye week. We come out and play a tough Pitt team. I think Pitt's going to be tough like usual, but we should win that game. Then we got Clemson. I think Clemson's going to come out a lot tougher than last year. It's not going to be a blowout, but it's going to be a game that we have to redeem from 2015. So those 2 games right there, I'm still split on. So right now, and then we owe Stanford one at the end of the season, but it's always hard for us to play in California at the end of the season for whatever reason. And then Wake Forest, I think that's Hartman's revenge game. And you know how we treat teams that we take their players from. So right now I got us at 10-2 with me still deciding on those last two games. Easily can be 11-1. We have to be able to be 2-3 in our 2-3 in our three biggest games of Ohio State, Clemson, and USC. We got to win two of them. I think we can, as a true fan and believer, I think we can be 11-1. As a biased fan and believer, I think we can go undefeated. And as a Lucky Lefty podcast, I think we can go 10-2. But if we hot during the year, I think we can be 11-1 going into the playoffs. And that's just being erring on the side of I don't know the transfers. We still got transfers after the spring.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot that goes in the fall camp and then obviously the season. So I got to wait a little closer.
All right. Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, all of our great content. Don't forget about it. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Leave 5 stars. Leave your comments. We greatly appreciate it. We spin it different. Yesterday, I asked the question left. Will Sam Hartman be a top 5 quarterback in college football in 2023?
Yes, because we'll have a top 5 scoring offense.
Before that, I want you to give your top 5 quarterbacks. Well, you already answered the question, but go ahead. What's your top 5 quarterbacks in 2023?
You got Sam Hartman. You got Caleb Williams, the Heisman runner. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he came back for a reason to be special. And coming back, my last two, I like Jordan Travis. I wish we had Florida State on the schedule. I think that would be the fourth team that makes sense, obviously, but it would be great if we played next year because they're supposed to be a top 10 team next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Florida State on my radar. And then whoever the starter is at Alabama, I think that'll be the interesting transition of them not having what we know of yet, that next generational quarterback that comes through there. So I think they're going to be the lead horse, as always, starting the season. And so whoever they got is going to be a top guy by the end of the season, too.
Yeah, I got Sam Hartman on my list. I had him 6th or 7th in that range. I didn't have him top 5 because I felt like Drake May and Caleb were
Oh, I forgot about Drake May. Sorry.
Yeah, Drake
I'll
May.
probably put Drake May and then the Alabama quarterback. Obviously, I wouldn't think I forgot Drake May. Obviously, Drake May, him and Caleb Williams, the top 1 or 2 quarterbacks next year.
Yeah.
I clearly don't know how I forgot, but yeah, he's in my top 5.
I think Michael Penix is going to double up and have another fantastic season.
Only reason why I don't think Michael Penix is going to be top 5 is because I really like the Pac-12 quarterback show. And so it'd be interesting to see how he wins in the conference and translate that because the playoffs isn't next year, but
Jaden Daniels is very interesting. One of the things I did say left is that each and every year in college football, we have 1 or 2 quarterbacks that come out of nowhere. Like Hendon Hooker last year. Like we didn't see Hendon Hooker coming like that. Could Joe Milton do the same thing? Right. Could Joe Milton do that with Josh Heupel's system at Tennessee? Could he be the next one to do it? Spencer Sanders, what does he do at Ole Miss? That's a question.
If he can start.
If he can start. There's always 1 or 2. Jaden Daniels might be one of those ones that just really takes it to the next level at LSU. He definitely has talented wide receivers. Coaching. I think Denbrock is going to be there now.
Where
Denbrock is at LSU, right? He's already there, right? So you've spoken highly of Denbrock to me. So he can only make Jaden Daniels better.
I think Jaden Daniels is there for the conference, not the coaching staff.
That's facts. It was an upgrade going from Arizona State to LSU, upgrading talent at the skill positions as well. And then, look, to be honest, just opportunities for guys like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. to really just double up and see if they can stack consecutive years.
Yeah, Bo Nix can change the narrative on him from being a inconsistent guy to a quarterback that can be a nice backup in the league somewhere in a couple years. Uh, just being consistent but he's going to put up some good numbers because he's at Oregon, which is a school that likes to mislead a lot of fans out there as well, thinking they're pretty good and they get to the postseason and lay an egg, literally. So I think for Bo Nix, he's in a really good position for a quarterback in college football. That's where you want to be. You're gonna put up numbers. He's gonna win the clutch, or he's gonna put up performances like he did against Georgia in the beginning of the season.
So that's Malik's top 5 quarterbacks in college football in 2023. Don't forget Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Matter of fact, go to YouTube right now. If you haven't, smash that like button for us. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell every time we post something or go live. You'll know. Lucky Lefty Podcast. When we come back, or next up, shall I say, Left gives his top 5 offenses in 2023. And assuming that Sam Hartman will be the starting quarterback, how much is Notre Dame going to pass with the offensive line and running backs they have? We'll talk about that next on the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spend it different. All right, Left. We're back. We're talking offense. Sam Hartman, development of the offense with Tommy Rees. Will Tommy Rees get the Fiesta Bowl itch and start throwing the ball 50 times a game now that he has a quarterback that's experienced and I would say a top 10 quarterback in college football? Or will he depend on the running game and the offensive line? That's something we'll get into shortly. And then we're going to talk about your top 5 offenses as well. And then we have a treat. Luck loves the quarterbacks, man. And Notre Dame just offered a young man from the class of 25 from the state of Texas. And like they say, everything is bigger in Texas. And this young one, he's a big youngin, as they say down there. We'll look at his film on the back end. But Left, we start with your top 5 offenses in college football for 2023.
Top 5 offenses. The first is Caleb Williams, the Heisman winner. I think, that Lincoln Riley and Caleb in that combination in year 2, you're looking to be more productive. They got some pieces. They're always getting good receivers. They might even get Marvin Harrison Jr., which would just make our job a lot harder when it comes to next year. But, they're going to find a way to put points on the board. That's why they're really good. And they take all the energy from their defense and put it on their offense. So that's why they're an offensive focused team. But hopefully we'll be ready for that with how we're stacking our defense by that time too. Second offense, I would love to say it's Notre Dame. I think we've got a quarterback that's capable enough and veteran enough to execute what Tommy's been wanting to probably run for a long time consistently. And we also have Tyler Buckner, who's not too far off on the talent level, and we know is capable of creating explosive plays and putting up points himself. So having 2 quarterbacks that you can't go wrong with, really, we're about 1 or 2 games shy of really doing something special. But it really comes down to how we execute on offense. I think both quarterbacks are capable of utilizing our talent to score the points necessary to win big games. But it also comes down to Tommy being able to take the handcuffs off, because I felt like he's had a lot of handcuffs and been in trying to be a nursery, babying guys and getting them developed because they're either first-time starters or haven't been there and done that before. Now he's got guys that's been there, done that before, so maybe he gets out of the nursery and starts schooling these kids the right way, and we can be the top 5 offense with the talent that we have is top five that we should be. Another top offense that's I'm excited to watch is Drake May. Obviously, him and Caleb are the 1 and 2 quarterbacks this next year, just like Bryce and CJ were. And Bryce and CJ's offenses were astounding. I mean, they were high flying, high scoring, and I expect the same thing out of a offense like Drake May. I think he'll get some receivers. Maybe he gets Mitchell from Georgia. That'll be a great combination. So I think Drake May being a suspected top scoring offense because he's a top quarterback for next year's draft. Another offense because I'm on three or I'm on four.
You're on 4 now.
I'm on four. The fourth one is Ole Miss. I love Lane Kiffin and what he's doing. I think when he has three very capable quarterbacks, a super veteran, a guy that was a transfer from a Power Five that's well respected in USC and Jackson Dart, and also getting a young 5-star guy, Walker Howard. I think he's going to be able to find enough production out of that quarterback room to have another productive offense that we know Lane is so accustomed to putting on the field. And I think it always take plays from him anyway. So he's pretty creative. I like the things that he does offensively. And then the last one's hard for me because I got a couple options. I think Tennessee is going to be a top 5 scoring offense because Joe Milton has a cannon of an arm and he's a big, big dude back there. So that Jamarcus Russell type of field can be dangerous with how they run their offense. Because how they run their offense, I mean, they can put up some points too. So I think it's going to give them a hard out watching them go next year. So it's between them, which I think is could be there. I think Oregon obviously is going to be a high scoring team. And I think one of the Big 12 teams is going to be high scoring. I just don't know. Maybe Texas, because I think I like their quarterback situation. But the fifth is up in the air, but I'll just go with Tennessee because I really like Joe Milton off of last year.
It's going to be interesting to see what TCU can do if they have another explosive year there. You mentioned the Big 12. I think Baylor takes a step. They have more experienced quarterback play this year. I think they take a step up offensively. And then Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma is going to be interesting to see what that Oklahoma offense can do. I'll say another one. I'm interested in seeing what Garrett Riley does at Clemson. I don't know if there'll be a top 5 offense, but it goes back to what you said when you were talking about the schedule. I think as a team, they'll be a tougher opponent than they were this year when Notre Dame comes into Happy Valley. Or that's not Happy Valley, that's Penn State. But when they come into Clemson, and I'm interested in seeing what he does with Cade Klubnik and how he builds the offense around him in that running game. Like, do they allow him to throw the ball, or is it really still going to be built around that running game and being physical? Because that offensive line really was better this year. It's one of the best offensive lines that Clemson and Dabo has had since his time there. So,
And
Clemson,
I think you're gonna see a lot, speaking of quarterbacks out of Clemson, I think Oregon State's gonna be really solid next year and an
yeah,
underdog
yeah,
because they're like a lot like Utah, a very
yeah,
tough veteran team that really quarterbacks away from being consistent every year. So
yeah, yeah. I agree with
DJ
that.
should be good up there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And then the Pratt kid going back to Tulane, you know, I'm sure they'll put up points the same way they did this year. It's going to be interesting, but I like your top 5 list right there. That's the top 5 offenses in 2023, according to Luck himself, right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. And now we spin that forward. Notre Dame made your list. Let's talk about how that offense is going to look and how tempting it is going to be for Tommy Rees to not fall in love with his new toy quarterback and stick to the core and the foundation of what Notre Dame in its strength is really all about, which is that offensive line and the running backs. My first question to you, Left, Is the offensive line better at pass pro or run blocking?
Probably run blocking, but I think we can stretch the limits of our pass pro, having a more veteran quarterback back there not holding the football.
Hmm.
So it probably highlights our offensive line blocking a little bit better than what it's looked like in the past. But if I had to choose, I would say run blocking because that's what comes in handy later in the season. But I mean, I don't know. Passing wins championships. The way Stetson Bennett had to throw for about 350 now. Well, I'm not gonna count the Georgia game, but 2 years ago, Stetson Bennett had to throw for some yards to win that game. So maybe it's gonna have to come for that too.
Well, I mean, there will be games that the passing game is going to have to step up and win the game. They're going to have to step up and win the game. I would venture to say that you want to be physical in all of your big games. You want to be physical against Ohio State and run the ball. You want to be physical against USC and run the ball. But it's tempting against USC because their tackling is so awful and their defensive backfield is just dreadful.
Yeah, because they like, man, I
And
thought
Drew
this was
Pine
seven
was
on
able to put
seven.
in work against USC.
They don't even practice with pads on defense in SEC, USC.
You know what? You might be right. Have I ever seen them in pads? And all the
You always
30,
see them in
30 for
front of
30
Instagrams.
pounds?
You always see them in fashionable clothes walking to the game. They just have fashion contests at practice.
So the question of the day was, how many pass attempts per game will Sam Hartman average?
Pass attempts.
Pass attempts per game.
I think Tommy will be a pretty neutral, probably try to be right in the middle. So I say 25 to 30 passes in a game is probably pretty solid as a call. 25 to 30, 28 being the average, I think.
What about what, 30? 30 rushing attempts? A little bit more? 35 to 40 rushing attempts?
Yeah, you want to be pretty 50-50. I think that's the world he wants to live in. He tried to do that with Tyler Buckner, but Tyler Buckner was doing both.
Well, I mean, he adds to the running game. So, like you said, he's doing both. Yeah, I don't think this offense needs to go, even though they just picked up a top five quarterback in your opinion. I don't think they need to go too pass happy. I really don't. I think they need to alleviate the pressure off of Sam Hartman. He has lived with pressure on his shoulders his entire career at Wake Forest. Bring him in, give him a brand new look on what it takes to win football games, especially big time football games, and make him feel comfortable behind that running game and that offensive line and be more efficient. I would like to see his completion percentage go up, and I would like to see the number of big plays that Notre Dame makes in the passing game goes up. That was one of the great things TCU did. The TCU had some incredible stat, like they had 50 plays of over 20 yards, and they had 20 plays of over 50 yards, which is crazy. I would love to see Notre Dame have 20 plays over 50 yards during the season.
Tommy got to dial him up now.
Man, Tommy's going to have to dial it up, and he's going to have the opportunity because this is a question: who's happier, the running backs or the wide receivers, with Sam Hartman showing up? That's a good question. That's a good question.
The answer should be both. It should take the pressure off of the running game, and it should add completions to more receivers in the passing game.
I just think the running backs are finally going to see 7 in the box
Yep. You
consistently.
don't have no pressure. They're not trying to load the box. They like, oh, you're gonna run it, you're gonna throw it. We'll keep them guessing.
Shoot, the offensive line might be happy too.
Mm,
Instead of run blocking against 6 and 7, it's a lot easier
that's
than
right.
7, 8 consistently. So his impact is really important just from the experience standpoint and gaining and harnessing respect from the defensive coordinator as he prepares for Notre Dame. Like he shifts the game plan, in my opinion. Defensive coordinators might not be so quick to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage with their safeties and with their linebackers.
They're not
Now,
gonna throw our classic double safety blitz at us.
no, no. Who will get the Charlie Jones award for Notre Dame? Who will get the freaking
It should
Charlie
be
Jones
Tobias
award?
Merriweather. If we was really like, all right, we're gonna treat him like a Calvin Johnson, let's just throw him the balls.
Mm,
He should be starting next year. And then, I mean, other than that, I think everybody is pretty much on the same level of they going we don't honestly we don't know how productive our receiver room can be.
yeah,
It's even hard to guess. I would hope it would be Tobias because he sounds like the most talented. But I don't know.
yeah. That's a new. We just created a new award for the lefties next year. The freaking Charlie Jones Award
Freaking Charlie, like,
for the best wide receiver.
and he was cooking in the Big Ten game too.
Man,
He was cooking every
are you talking
game.
about the championship game? Yeah,
Yeah,
he was cooking
he
against
was
Michigan.
cooking.
He was cooking. He was, and they were double
But I
teaming
saw
him.
why. I saw why he was getting.
Yeah,
He was on
yeah.
his Adam Thielen, man.
That's a good call. He might be an Adam Thielen type. He might be. So once again, Notre Dame will be a top 5 offensive team. One of the top 5 offenses according to Left. Left, you suspect that 30 passes per game is good enough for Sam Hartman. If he's
28,
efficient enough,
35 on the high end.
yeah, he's what 22 or 30, 290 to 350, depending upon the big plays in the game. And that leaves about 35 to 40 carries for the backfield. Divide that evenly
I can see
amongst
a
3 running
25
backs.
for 30. If we're in a tight game like SC, I'm seeing it being like 25 for 37 or something.
Mm,
350. 25 for 37, 350. Or 26 for 37, 350.
yeah,
Both touchdowns or something. But in a game where we should be smacking them up and down the field, i.e. Stanford next year, he should be like, 20 for 25. We should
yeah,
have a bunch of running yards.
yeah.
And those 25 are just to keep him honest. Because we running that ball.
Running that rock.
And then
Yeah.
Tyler Buckner going to get in there and get him about 50, 60 yards rushing, because we're going to
Yeah.
be beating them by first half.
hmm
So we should be all right.
So Antoine Hill Jr., 2025 quarterback. Originally, I said he was from Texas. He's from Houston High School. That's what threw me off. Houston High School down in Georgia. Number 2 quarterback in the 25 class. Left. This kid is 6'5". 6'5", bro. 215 pounds. As we say here on the Lefty podcast, it's time to go to the tape. Let's go to the tape. Antoine Hill. Let's check out his sophomore film. Wait a minute. What? Did the ball go out of the screen?
Yeah, I think
What the? Okay, we're watching this for the first time. That throw was crazy.
Hold on, you got to rewind it. Mine's glitched or something.
Okay, we're going to stop and because Left missed that first clip. 6'5", 215 out of the state of Georgia. Class of 25, number 2 ranked quarterback. This first throw is ridiculous, bro. That's almost 70 yards in the air, bro.
Yeah, great throw.
That's insane.
Well, I like that he has a bunch of arm talent. He's definitely good that he's on the radar because we can throw it deep. But the only problem I have with watching tape like this is that, you know, you can throw it deep, but can you do anything else? I don't think Tommy's going to be calling deep throws every time, but we know that we can do something with the just back there launching it. So if anybody's ever remember Tommy Armstrong that went to Nebraska, his tape was just like this. He just took a couple steps and chucked it. And I mean, he had a career of chucking it in Nebraska, and it was, pretty solid. But I like that he has the height. I like that he has the explosiveness in his arm. You know, I mean, he's throwing the hell out of the ball. So, I think just seeing it looks really good. Just a really good talent. I can't really
Bro,
say if it's a really
it's,
great fit, but I can say
it's
it's a really great talent.
the arm talent just stands out.
Yes,
Just
but that's his
just
whole tape.
you know,
Just
just immediately. And he's a sophomore. And a lot of times, you ask yourself, what are these young men being asked to do? I sent you
yeah.
film of a young sophomore, and we were amazed by the offense he was running just as much as we liked him as a player. Because as a sophomore, they were asking him to do things that will make him far advanced by the time he got to college.
See, you know where he would be really good at because of fit at Coastal Carolina. Now I know he's probably not going to go there or
Come
nothing.
on, dog. He's the number 2 court.
I
Come on.
know. I'm
You can
saying.
find
No, I'm just saying from the style of offense. If
you can
this was
find an offense.
if going to college football was about fit and not about you the best, so you just got to go to Bama type of thing, he would look great in that RPO
Then
chuck
why
it deep
why
type of
couldn't he
system.
go to Oregon? He can go
Oh,
to
okay, yeah,
Oregon and run
Oregon,
RPO.
Oregon. I was just saying fit. I was just saying fit. Oregon does a little bit more. They do some more rollouts and stuff nowadays. I think the kid looks really talented, but I think it also really talented in a fit system. I hope we get him.
Man, the arm talent is Antoine Hill Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
And
Right
he's
here in the
6'5". Thank goodness.
6'5", 215 as a sophomore. Hey, Tommy, I see what you like, bro.
Nah.
I see why you offered him. Now, whether or not
Tommy,
you
I
can,
feel like Tommy recruits sometimes like the Rooney Rule.
I don't know if he. Come on, dude.
Sometimes. Like I think he has his type that he likes. But he be killing me sometimes. Cause I mean he should have had Dante. I don't know why. That just doesn't make no sense to me.
My man says sometimes he recruits like the Rooney Rule. Lucky Lefty podcast. I don't even know what to say after that. I have no clue what to say after that.
Man, because Brandon Clark, that whole years after Ian is just confusing to me. There's a lot of talent in them years, and I don't know how we ended
Man,
up with that room. So we got a lot of talent. But we're gonna be good, man. We're gonna be good.
yeah, I'm glad you have something to say because I'm speechless right now.
What do you
Uh,
mean?
that Rooney Rule just took me out.
Thank you.
That just took me out.
Why is this true?
Yo, you said this man recruits like the Rooney Rule sometimes.
Because it doesn't make sense, Shaun. It doesn't make sense. It
I
doesn't make sense.
Lucky Lefty podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction. Breakdown. All of our great content, along with John Garcia Jr., State of Recruiting. Man, leave us 5 stars. Leave your comments, your questions. We would greatly appreciate it. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. You already know. We spin it different. Anything else you want to talk about, man?
What? No, but I think the kid's talented. I think he could be good at like a Baylor, Oregon,
The kid can be good at whatever school he wants to go to. bro.
Washington, Ohio State. He definitely looked like the next Ohio State's quarterback. Because I like the way that they do. The Ohio State does the same thing. They just want to throw bubbles and goals and slants because they got better talent. But Ohio State has to be good in recruiting the mess out of their defense. And we'll see next year. I think they're going to have, Noel's second year. We're going to see how he does.
All right, man. We talked about Malik's top 5 quarterbacks, whether or not he thought Sam Hartman would be a top 5 quarterback next year. We talked about transfers, A.D. Mitchell, and also Spencer Sanders finding new homes. And then we got into Notre Dame's offense and how it will evolve and what it might look like, assuming that Sam Hartman is the starting quarterback. Antoine Hill Jr., 25 quarterback out of Georgia, broke down his film. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. My man said this dude recruits like the Rooney Rule.
Sometimes. It's not all the time. Sometimes. Because it just wasn't making no sense, man.
You know what time it is, man.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
and fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic Petty Junction?
Yo.
Yo.
Petty Junction, pettiest story of the day. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Yo, every time I hear that Russell Westbrook in the open, bro. No, I just don't like you.
I just don't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you see, he pump faked it. No, he took a shot. Midair was like, "Nah, I don't want to shoot." It throws it off the dude.
Definitely put Russell Westbrook on the petty train, being down 1 against Philly the other night and just coming down and just.
Now he did make the defensive play on the other end.
He did.
So it's like, I guess he earned it. So everybody was like, here we go.
Braun was like, go ahead, man. Just go ahead.
Nobody even called for it. That was the funny part. Braun didn't even run over to it. He's like,
Go ahead.
he's
Just go
taking
ahead.
this to the house.
Yes, look. Yes, Malik is on the petty train today. Yes, he is. He's absolutely on the petty train today for that. He absolutely is on the petty train.
Oh my
As
God.
Enough said. Don't have to go any further into it. That will be definitely one of the best clips coming back for the Lefty Awards in December. This man said he recruits like the Rooney Rule sometimes. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm done. I can barely finish this show. I'm done, man. I'm done.
Great show today.
Joe, yesterday I had to put Andre Rison on the petty train. This dude said he was a better receiver than Jerry Rice.
How did he fix his lips to say that? I mean, I
You
get
know.
you a competitor and everything, but Jerry Rice might be one of the more undisputed characters in NFL history where we're like, yeah, he's just the best of all time. Like, people debate the LeBron Jordan thing. I think Jerry Rice is more unified as the best receiver of all time.
Yo, my man said he recruits like the Rooney Rule. Man. Y'all got to be kidding me, man. I can't even move forward, bro.
Am I lying?
Put crumble cookies on the petty train for doing too much. Fruit Loops on and Stan's donuts too. Fruit Loops on top of donuts and
for
all that
instance,
stuff. What did
this
you get? What did you
is
get from crumble?
a honey bun donut. I mean, a honey bun cookie.
That looks fire though.
This is fire.
Okay,
It's a honey bun cookie.
that looks fire.
So I think insomnia is great, but when you get stuff like this, you gotta know how to pick them.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they do. I think my mom had like a caramel joint from there. And
They
I thought
definitely
it was,
do
I
too
thought it was
much
pretty
though.
good.
Sometimes like they got a cornbread cookie.
See,
See, that's when I was like, oh,
see.
y'all playing
Now,
around.
is it skillet cornbread or Jiffy Mix? Because that's
No, it's like a real cookie though. But it's like, I'm like, what does it taste like? They're like, oh, exactly like cornbread. I'm like, I don't know. Just make some cornbread.
right. Just make some sweet cornbread and sell it.
Yeah,
Don't
you
make it a
make it a
cookie.
cookie that tastes like corn. No, just make some
Yeah,
cornbread.
just make some cornbread and sell it, man.
I'm in California though, so they try to just overdo everything.
Now, see, when I was out there, of course, the Insomnia is right there on USC's campus, so I always get those
You
when I
right
come out
there.
there. I'm right there on the campus.
A nice little 12-pack.
Yes,
That's how they come into it.
and I actually, the best is the lemon white chocolate that they only bring out around Easter. Fantastic.
The lemon white chocolate.
They only bring it out like literally like 2 weeks leading up to Easter and after Easter every year. Fantastic.
I don't get why these dessert shops make seasonal, things like this pastry shop down the street. They make seasonal donuts, but they're like heavenly. I'm like, if they made it all the time, they'd probably be rich, but they only make them during the winter time, which
Well,
is
it
crazy.
creates demand, right? And then it widens out your menu. It gives you an opportunity to introduce more flavors.
Okay,
You
smart.
know, they can't put all of those flavors on the menu at the same time, then that's more work for them. But if they keep one or two for each season, then they can keep the same workload, and then your demand, you're waiting for that time of the season. And they know you're gonna go crazy when it finally comes. Right? Because you've been waiting on it. So I mean it's pretty good marketing. I understand why they do it. And then, things like strawberries here in the Midwest, most strawberry desserts go out of season, like during the winter.
They do, man.
Yeah. So
That always trip me up. Fruit goes out of season. I'm like, how does a fruit go out of season?
well, it never goes out of season in California.
Watermelons are out of season right now.
In California?
Yeah. The only thing that's good right now are the oranges. Because oranges are good in the spring, right? Oranges are good. The apples are all right.
Well, tangerines are good in the winter.
Yep. The
Like
little
the
cuties, like you said, the little cuties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cuties are bomb right now. See, for us, we're in the Midwest, so we still get the Mississippi watermelons even in the winter.
Really?
Yeah, right
Man,
there.
in the summer, we got the best ones.
No bet.
In the winter,
no. Strawberries are incredible out there in California, though.
they are. But you got to go to the
to pick them.
You got to go to the
Down in the
farm
OC?
markets, like
Okay.
the Mexican grocery store.
Okay.
I only say Mexican grocery store because everything be Spanish, but the
Okay.
strawberries be like they be right. They don't be the same like if you go to Ralph's
Right.
or like Kroger because that's
Right.
Midwest.
Right. Like I've
Yeah.
actually went, they got the little place where you can pick them down in the OC, like right outside of Carlsbad,
Hmm.
Oceanside, somewhere in
See,
there.
I'm bougie because now I start going to the meat market. They got this Manhattan meats that's really good, and we get the nice cuts. It's
Yeah.
just California can turn you into a real enthusiast of
Bougie
food.
person. Oh, that's another food segment brought to you by the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Brandon Gilbert said you got to try Duck Donuts here in the OC. Made to order donuts. Request the vegan dough. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Made to order donuts.
Now, that's close to you, right?
Oh, I'm in the valley.
Oh, you're in the valley. Like
So,
I go to the OC usually for the outlet mall when I'm there. I take the missus down there. So I'm
mm,
usually down there. So I have to put a pin in Duck Donuts.
mm.
She would love the vegan dough. She definitely would rock with that vegan dough. Look, as long as they have good glaze, I'm fine. I'm not hard to please, bro. I'm not hard to please. Garland Doxy says Malik and Shaun, we got a spot in South Bend called Cool Runnings now, and it smacks. I
Yeah,
guess
it had to be
for the
now
jerk.
because there was a donut spot back then. I would have been
No,
there.
no, he's talking about that jerk
Oh,
chicken.
oh, 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 really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
Make
okay.
that.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
The Hart Foundation. Can Dante Moore be a starter day one in UCLA?
I don't know who they got in the tank over there.
He'll be a starter, dude.
I mean, they got the 5-star plus now. I didn't even know it was a plus to it. I thought they talking about Disney Plus or something. They talking about
Dude,
5-star plus.
the show he put on the entire week at the All American Bowl, I see why he got the plus. And what he did in the game, yeah,
No, I think he is a 5-star. I'm just saying I didn't know they add plus to things now.
Truman Dumel, thank you for the super chat. How will Hartman complement and make better the running back room? P.S. Are we still tight end university solely? I
Yeah,
mean,
I think Hartman would be great complementing the running game, lightening the box, giving us more opportunity to put guys in mismatches and loosening the defense because we can throw over top of the defense. Hopefully, we'll see a lot more two shell, which anytime you have two shells, a great look to run the football. And I think our running backs are going to be even better having a balance of possibly seeing some Tyler Buckner be thrown in there, seeing some Sam and Tyler in there. I think it could help to complement the running game. But Sam, overall leadership and his effectiveness to maybe even doing the little things like changing the run to the right side, going from pass to a run. I can imagine Tommy being more experimentative with Sam Hartman and the way he can control the huddle and his toolbox at the line of scrimmage. Oh, you on mute?
my fault. Brandon Gilbert said he can't find a good grape in the OC. I don't know if that's the actual grape or like a nickname for wine. You can get some Onora whiskey though.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir. Well, left. Great show today, man. Once again, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all of our great content. Thank you guys for how much you support us, man, and download the content. Continue to do so. YouTube, subscribe, smash that like button, share, notification bell, let everybody know. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We truly spin it different. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. But most of all, make sure that you spin it different today. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty Podcast.